شما خودتون معرفیتون سوال That's life.
We'll get started in just a minute or two. Thank you all for joining us, for being here, support our family mourning. If you need prayer books, I think there are some on the edges of your rows and behind your seats. All right, I think we'll get started. Hello and welcome to Sinai Temple's afternoon and evening minyan. Thanks for joining us. We're going to begin on page 120 of Sidur Sim Shalom with Ashrei. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha Od Yahalalucha Sela Ashrei Ha'am Shekacha Lo Ashrei Ha'am She'Adonai Elohav Teila LeDavid Aromim Chalo Chayav Melech Gadol Amayim Hadar Kabbalah. In the middle of page 121. Tehilat Adonai Adaber Pi Vivarech Kol Basar Shem Kodsho Le'olam Ba'ed V'anachnu Nevarech Yamei Taved Olam Hallelujah. We rise if we're able for the recite Kaddish at the bottom of page 121. We will recite the recite Kaddish together, and then we will recite the first three blessings of the Amidah together, and then continue silently. When you're done the Amidah, feel free to be seated. Recite Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei decho beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehesh shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam lo me'amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'ba'ar v'yitram yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha, Richu la'elam mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran Belma Vimru Amen. We turn to page 122 for the Amidah. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Konei HaKol V'zocher chastei avot, umevi goel livnei b'neihem lama'an shemo be'ahava, melech ozer ufoked umoshia umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, magen Abraham ufoked Sarah, Atah gibor leolam Adonai, mechayei metim atah rab lehoshia, morid hatal, mechaltel chayim bechesed, mechayei metim berachamim rabim, somech noflim rofech olim amatir asurim, umekayem emonatol ishenei afar, Michamocha Baal Geborot Umidom Elach Melech Memit Umchaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman Atalach Achayot Metim Baruch Atah Adonai Mechaye HaMetim Nekadesh Et Shimcha Ba'olam Kishem Shimak Tishim Oto Bishmei Marom Kakatuv Al Yad Neviecha V'karazeh El Zeh Ve'amar Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Malok Kol Haaretz Kevodo, La'umatam Baruch Yomeru, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo, Uvdivrei Kodshecha Chatu Lemor. Yimloch Adonai Leolam Elochai Tzion, Lador Vador, Hallelujah. Lador Vador Nagid Kodecha, Ulnetzach Netzachim Kedushatcha Nakdish, V'shibchacha Lohenu Mepinu Lo Yamush Leolam Va'ed, Ki Yomelech Gadol V'Kadoshata, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue silently on page 124. Like there's some more room over here. Some chairs over there. If you're still completing your Amidah, please continue. Otherwise, we continue on page 134 with Kaddish Shalem. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכונו וימיכונו חיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו, אמן, יהי שמי רבם וברך, לעולם ולמי המיה, יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם וינשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתגלל שמי לקודשה, בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו, אמן, יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיא, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, אמן, עושה שלום במרומיו. Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al Kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. We turn to page 135 for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, latet gdula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Feel free to be seated. We turn to page 136 for the mourner's Kaddish. Today is the 10th day of Tammuz, and we remember these yahrzeits. Maro Elihu, Leo Felsenthal, Samuel Goodman, Dorothy Kalman, Edward Kamener, Isaac Buladian, Masoud Rochsar, Harry Umansky, and Ramatola Vadat. We continue to remember Isabel Stoffer, Robert Barron, Mark Elliott Becker, Mahin Shadgo, Nasser Barlaba, Aaron Atias, Gary Winnick, Edith Maneker, Hector Stanislavski, Craig Lawrence Smith, Cyrus Ramsey, Dr. Mike Bromberg, Iris Goodman, Musa Karazi, Saraniku, Ibrahim Golcha, Maluk Nazarian, Gerda Weintraub, Yerachmiel Taus, Riva Rebecca Danielpour, Mahi Rastegar, Dina Brodsky, Parvin Kalati Masjedi, Shahin Faranik, Mahin Dokt Bekrad, Isabel Tubi, Corinne Arlene Turetsky, Lily Nasan, Shahin Dardashti, Sina Silverman, Savta Sofia Gavish, Dr. Benjamin Haruni, Victoria Torbati, Ruhi Sabeti, Matitya Tarani, Farhan Gish Shanasa, Sharam Kshaniroch, Jamil Hanani, Rachel Rofim, Yosef Shayeshtafar, Catherine Meraj, Logman Daneshkar, Parvin Kabud, Amir Gabai, Dr. Nasir Baradaran, Tanya Yadigar, Pepe Simmerman, Joan Pelton, Alex Gold, Robert Lieb, Raquel Mansbach, Lillian Wellens, Harold Lurie, Darren Greenlee, Viju Sadig, Mozaffar Tehrani, Arnold Kessler, Parvin Gafni Yashar, Maluk Shanasa, Fakhri Novian, Morvarid Kahan Kashani Nikravesh, Peter Zapp, Egal Shabazz, Eteran Mizrahi, Eshag Ejagapur Esagov, Ron Barkham, Martin Shapiro, and Baram Ravan. Are there any other names we're remembering tonight? Or today, I should say. Did I have the name?
Yes.
Names. For all those in mourning or observing the yahrzeit here or at home, I invite you to rise and join me in reciting the mourner's Kaddish on page 136. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra kirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayei chon uvyomei chon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ulamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitdaleh v'yithalal shmei t'kudusha brichu, la'ela min pol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May their memories continue to be for a blessing. We continue, page 137, with the Baruch Hu. We'll say the Baruch Hu together, and then feel free to be seated. V'churachum yachaper avon v'lo yashchit, v'hirba l'shiva po v'lo ya'ir kol chamato, Adonai Yoshia melech yanenu v'yom korenu, Baruch Hu et Adonai ha'mevorach, Baruch Adonai ha'mevorach, le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher b'marav v'riv v'chok 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 Uma avir yomu mevin laila, uma avdil ben yomu ben laila Adonai tzvaot shamo, el chai v'kayam tamimim b'cholenu le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai ham'ari v'aravim, ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha chavta, Torah mitzvot. Kehem hayenu v'orach yamenu uvahem nehege yomam b'laila, ve'ahavat al tesim ramenu le'olamim, Baruch ata Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol avavcha u'chol nafshecha u'chol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavcha, hayom al levavecha, Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot b'neinecha uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha. Continue, page 138. V'haya yishmo. Page 139. Adonai Elohechem emet, ve'emunah kol zot v'kayam aleinu. Bottom of page 139. Umalchuto b'ratzon kiblu eleihem, Moshe uvnei Yisrael lechanu shira v'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam. Mi chamocha ba'ilim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, malchut acharu vanecha, bokei hayam yitnei Moshe, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, ve'ne'emar kifada Adonai telkov, u'ge'olo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai ga'al Yisrael. Page 140. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu l'keinu l'chayim l'rfos alinu shekashomecha. Ushmor tzeitenu hoenu l'chayim l'shalom e'ata v'yad olam, baruch ata Adonai shomer amo Yisrael la'ad, baruch Adonai le'olam amen v'amen. Middle page 141. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Ki hamalchut shelcha chi, ulol me'at timloch bechavod, ki in lanu melech ela ata. Baruch ata Adonai, hamelech bifodo taminin v'cholenu le'olam va'ed. Vel kol ma'asav. We rise if we're able for the Chatzi Kaddish at the bottom of page 141. Again, we'll recite that together. And then we will move on to the silent Amidah. Feel free to read the words in Hebrew, the words in English, or just to meditate on the words of your heart as you say your Amidah privately. Chatzi Kaddish, page 141. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yamechon uv'chayei decho beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yahei shmei Rabbah barach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha, brichu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechem ata da'amiran b'alma v'imru. Amen. Silent Amidah. Page 142. If you're still completing your Amidah, please continue privately. We rejoin together on page 149 for Kaddish Shalem. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yamechon uv'chayei decho beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'zman kariv v'imeru. Amen. Yahei shmei Rabbah mevarach, la'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha, brichu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechem ata da'amiran be'alma v'imeru. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Page 150, Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שנו תשמע יוסף. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You can feel free to be seated. We're going to turn back briefly to page 75 for the prayer for the state of Israel. We'll recite it together in the English in the middle of page 75 on the left-hand side. Feel free to join me. Avinu Shebashamayim, Rock and Redeemer of the people Israel, bless the state of Israel with its promise of redemption. Shield it with your love. Spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them. Crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say, Amen. I will also recite a prayer for the soldiers of the IDF. It's not in your Sidurim, so please, as I recite it, send the blessings that you have in your heart off to the soldiers who are fighting on the front lines. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah u'Yivarech et Chayalei Tzva ha'Haganah Yisrael v'Anshei Kochot HaBitachon ha'omdim al mishmar artzenu v'arei Eloheinu migavul ha'Levanon v'an bimar Mitzrayim u'min hayam ha'gadol ad lavo ha'arava u'v'chol makom Shechem v'yabasha v'avir u'vayam Yiten Adonai et oivenu hakamim aleinu nigafim lifnehem HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishmor v'Yatzil et Chayalenu mikol tzara v'tzukah u'mikol nega u'machala v'yishlach bracha v'hatzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yedehem Yadber sonenu tachtechem v'yatrem b'keter Yeshua u'vateret nitzachon v'kuyam b'hem hakatuv ki Adonai Elohechem hacholechem lachem lahilachem lachem imoivechem lehoshia etchem v'nomar Amen. We say Amen together as we wish for peace and security speedily and soon in the land of Israel. And because this is a house of mourning, we will recite together the psalm for the house of mourning, which you can find on page 97 in your prayer books, Psalm 23. We'll recite it together in the English. We'll read it responsively. I'll read the non-italic text, and then feel free to join me in the italics. Psalm of David. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. God gives me repose in green meadows and guides me over calm waters. God will revive my spirit and direct me on the right path, for that is God's way. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are at my side. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely good and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. We'll turn now to page 100, where you can find the mourner's Kaddish. I'll just say before this that in our Torah portion this week, we read a famous line about the Jewish people, the people of Israel, that we are an Am Livadad Yishkona, a people, a nation that dwells alone. And while that may be true in many ways in our relationships to other peoples in the world, I don't think that's true. In fact, that's not true when it comes to us supporting each other. And so as we're demonstrating here, showing up for each other in good moments, in challenging moments, we are here to love each other, to be strong supporters of each other, and to allow God to join us in supporting those who are mourning. So we'll say the mourner's Kaddish together. First, let me read the yahrzeits for today. Wednesday begins tonight, which is the 11th day of Tammuz. We remember Kevin Bezansky, Hyman Bradovsky, Minnie Dunitz, Lee Goodlick, Miriam Cohen, Clara Kraus, Harvey Powell, Charles Rosenberg. We continue to remember Isabel Stoffer, Robert Barron, Mark Elliott Becker, Mahin Shadgo, Nasser Barlava, Aaron Atias, Gary Whittick, Edith Maneker, Hector Stanislavski, Craig Lawrence Smith, Cyrus Ramsey, Dr. Mike Bromberg, Iris Goodman, Musa Karazi, Sarah Niku, Ibrahim Golcha, Maluk Nazarian, Gerda Weintraub, Rachmil Taus, Riva Rebecca Danielpour, Mahi Rastegar, Dina Brodsky, Parveen Kalati Masjedi, Shahin Faranik, Mahindok Bekrad, Isabel Tubi, Corinne Arlene Turetsky, Lily Nasan, Shahin Dardashti, Sina Silverman, Sophia Gavish, Dr. Benjamin Haruni, Victoria Torbati, Ruhi Sebeti, Matitya Terani, Farangi Shanasa, Sharam Kashani Roch, Jamil Hanani, Rachel Rofim, Yosef Shayeshtafar, Catherine Miraj, Logman Danishgar, Parveen Kabud, Amir Gabai, Dr. Nasser Baradaran, Tanya Yadigar, Pepe Zimmerman, Joan Pelton, Alex Gold, Robert Lieb, Raquel Mansbach, Lillian Wellens, Harold Lurie, Darren Greenlee, Bijou Sadiq, Mozaffar Tehrani, Arnold Kessler, Barveen Gafni Yashar, Maluk Shanasa, Fakhri Novian, Morvarid Kachan Kashani Nikravesh, Peter Zapp, Egel Shabazz, Eteran Mizrahi, Eshag Eshakapur Esagaf, Ron Barkham, Martin Shapiro, and Baram Ravahan. Are there any other names we're remembering tonight? Okay. For all of those here in the sanctuary in mourning or observing a yahrzeit, and all of those at home, I now invite you to rise and join me in reciting the Mourner's Kaddish on page 100. Yit Gadal v'Yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Ve'alma Divra Kirutei Ve'amlich Malchutei B'chayei Uvyomei Uvchayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Uvizman Kariv Ve'imru Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Uvalmei Olmaya Yit Barach V'Yishtabach V'Yit Ba'ar V'Yit Ramam V'Yit Naseh V'Yit Hadar V'Yit Aleh V'Yit Halal Shmei Tekudisha Richu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechanata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Seh shalom b'romav v'ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May their memories be for a blessing. May your husband and father's memory be for a blessing. That concludes our service for now, but I invite all of us to extend our traditional greeting to mourners for our family who's here observing Shiva. May God comfort you and your families among all others who are mourning among the Jewish people. We send our condolences to you. We wish you blessings of strength and support, and I know this challenging time. I invite you and your family, if you'd like to stay and share stories, please use this space as you'd like to. For all those joining us, I invite you to comfort our mourners following our service. Thank you so much.
Thank you.